This is an easy to replicate guide for the Doggo of Death Fenrir. Right now, this one will be using Bernhardt, Varna, Jugler, Lana, Bozel, and I'm going to use Altemuller for this run. I might do a follow-up with Ren if anyone cares, or I could do Listel. When I say easy to replicate, basically anyone can run this. It doesn't matter what your stats are. I'm not saying you'll get S rank, but if you follow this guide, you should essentially turn this boss into a stat check more so than anything else. I'm not going to play slow. If you want to see the movements again, you can just slow it down or rewind the video. But I'll click through their skills, and as we go through, I'll talk about their gear and what level they are, things of that nature. But these are the skills you're going to want to run on each of the characters. And you can pause it and go back if you want to reference it more. But I want to keep the guide going so that it's not terribly long. And again, I'll talk about important aspects of this fight as we go on. And you can literally just copy this exact setup if you happen to have these heroes. And it should be pretty straightforward. Always begin by attacking with Jugler. The reason you do that is because he's going to have Hellhounds equipped. It's very important that you have Hellhounds. If you don't have Hellhounds, you basically are going to severely gimp yourself in this fight. He applies an important debuff. Even if they're level 5, I mean, you got to run Hellhounds. It's never bad to follow up with Bernhardt. And again, you can copy this step by step. And as we go on, I'll talk about important details of the fight, but I don't want to spend forever talking about parts of the fight that you might already be aware of. So, phase 1, we're looking to get 4 debuffs on him. We're always going to go for the Eye of Zeus, which gives us AoE damage times 1,200%. So after you talk with Bernhardt and Jugler, you can get some Altemuller damage in. My Altemuller is 5 stars. He's got max heart bonds. Pretty mediocre / subpar enchantments. Before you ever attack with any casters, you always want to make sure you get your Lana in. She's got MDef, Intimidate. So she'll increase the amount of MDef the enemy the amount of magic damage the enemy takes. We're attacking with everyone first before we get the buff so that we can fully heal to max health. And again, you can literally copy this step by step, and if you're not able to replicate it well at all, it's because this guide is essentially a stat check guide. There's nothing creative about it. You just go through the motions, make sure you get your ordering right, and it'll be pretty straightforward. And the only reason I'm hesitating here is I'm not sure who to give the King's Crown to. I think I'm going to give it to Altemuller. And if you don't have all the gear, it's not terribly important. You do absolutely need Jugler's Crown. I will go over the gear at the end of the video. I'll timestamp it so you can, if gear is something you're hugely concerned about, we always attack with Jugler first. If gear is something you're hugely concerned about, you can skip to the end of the video. I just don't want to clog up the beginning of the video with a 10-15 minute startup when it could be a pretty straightforward guide for most people. And you're really going to alternate on the Eye of Zeus with, and look how much AoE damage she does here with the Eye of Zeus on her. She deals a considerable amount of AoE damage. Now, I'm torn on what I prefer. When I say I'm torn on what I prefer, I'm talking about between Ren and Altemuller. Ren makes it easier to Ren makes it easier to debuff the boss. And if you're unfamiliar with the fight, you're wanting to put 4 debuffs on even phases. I apologize. 4 debuffs on odd phases, and 6 debuffs on even phases. Because if you don't do that, you don't heal up to full. You won't activate the totems, and you also won't heal up to full. And that really gimps you. So you always want to attack with Lana before magic damage, and I'm intending to come in and attack with Bozel. Now, I could save my AoEs, but I don't like to do that. I like to maximize damage as soon as possible, as much as possible. One, because I'm not concerned about AoE, saving my AoEs. If I have it, I have it. If I don't, I don't. And my clock proc. The other thing is you can rewind for clock procs if, because this isn't a very rewind intensive fight. Meaning you're not going to really mess up ordering so much as you are going to be wanting RNG to be in your favor in the later phases. But even if clock didn't proc, I probably wouldn't rewind at this point. The reason is because I'm not concerned about how this fight's going to go for the next, I don't know, 5 or 6 phases. All right. Again, it's pretty straightforward. It's after you get into this pattern, you literally rinse and repeat almost nonstop. And I'm not saying that this is the ideal formation or that this is the ideal composition or skills. I'm just saying that this is an easy to replicate guide. I've got a 6 million score using 2 casters, don't even have Altemuller. I think Altemuller would be better than my original run with Ren and Lana because he has Defense Command. And Defense Command is going to really save you. And I haven't really been talking about his skills. You can read them if you want. You absolutely do not need to read them to follow this guide. The guide takes into account how the skills function and all of that. So you could literally be blind going into this fight in the mechanics. Okay, so this is one of the problems that you run into on even phases. So instead of actually just restarting this whole thing, you could just, I'm not going to start the video over, but you can just look. He's got 5 debuffs. He needs 6. So shame on me for not counting. An easy fix would be to just rewind to here. It's a little less efficient doing this, but we will apply some more debuffs with Bozel, and instead of going to the totem with Bozel, we'll just go to the totem here. Yeah, we're missing out on a Wind Whisper, and Bozel now has one of his AoEs down, but it really doesn't matter too much. And by it really doesn't matter too much, it's not going to matter at all. And again, I'm not going to promise that this run is going to be great. Prior to my 6 million run with Lana and Ren, I had a 5.3 million and then considerably lower runs before that. But I found this to work relatively well. You always want to attack with Jugler and Bernhardt first if possible because they will stack debuffs on and you can get your Altemuller damage in. Okay, we've activated the buff. We have a couple options here. We could go for the Wind Whisper for 0.3 AoE damage or the 1,000 arrows. I think we just go with the Wind Whisper for now. We can 1,000 arrows. I want to keep track of, I want to be on par with aim 1,000 arrows, Wind Whisper, aim 1,000 arrows, Wind Whisper. And there's no reason not to attack this. If I didn't attack it, that's fine as well. I could have used my AoE, but I'd rather save my AoE, the one I do have, for this phase when all the mobs are there. Same pattern, pretty straightforward, nothing special. I mean, I could end the video here and just say rinse and repeat until you die. This is a stat check. If you are failing to apply a sufficient number of debuffs, that's just RNG, not in your favor, or your lava titans are getting killed. But I'm not going to end the video here. I'll show you how you can adapt to situations as they evolve. And for the most part, up to the very last phases, up till you reach your limit, it's better to just kill the boss ASAP and fly through the phases as much as possible. Every turn that goes by, he increases his strength by 3%. So now we're looking at an 18% stat increase for the boss. And that can be pretty daunting. It's going to do massive AoE damage because he's got the buff and clock procced. Great. RNG's in our favor. RNG being in your favor really doesn't matter much for now. But it definitely will in the later phases, and that's what we're going to use our clocks on. Oh, and I actually didn't have enough debuffs to proc that. Which is kind of interesting. I could rewind and try to proc it. I really don't care though. It's just a heal. I'm on an odd phase now. So I only need 4 debuffs. I'll be able to heal up just fine anyway. Varna 6-star burn, 5-star Bozel, 5-star Lana, 5-star Altemuller, 5-star Jugler, 6-star. So before actually attacking with Altemuller, I'm going to go for the heal. Heal him up to full. He'll do a little bit more damage. Just in case his Gale procs, I want him to do more damage. The only people with maxed heart bonds are Varna, Altemuller, Jugler. Same pattern. I'm going to start with Jugler for the Hellhounds. I mean, Hellhounds, minor Hellhounds are level 10. They're going to make him take 20% additional damage. So it's absolutely brutal. Unfortunately, my Lava Titans are level 8 or 9. And so later on, you'll find out when you attack the boss Fenrir, your Lava Titans will actually die. And if they're all dead, then they will not activate their ability. Now again, remember, one of the problems I'm going to run into in the later phases is that I will not have enough debuffs to really keep the boss's health down. I mean, to activate the totems. I think I'm going to debuff, or I'm going to AoE here. I really want to maximize as much damage early on as possible. I don't like being slow about this. I've been opting to give Altemuller the King's Crown a lot of the times because I think he's actually dealing more damage than Lana is. And again, I'm happy to make a video for doing the exact same thing using Ren, using Listel. I don't want to use Listel, but if somebody really doesn't have an Altemuller or Ren built, I'm happy to show you how that would play out. Listel will be easier with debuffs. The issue is that she's going to struggle with providing damage. At least Altemuller and Ren will provide sizable damage. Listel, you're going to be looking at pathetic damage. Now it's possible for, instead of constantly going to the Eye of Zeus, I could eventually go to the Hand of Tur, which gives a massive fixed damage increase, and give it to Altemuller. I've never done that. There's nothing wrong with doing it. Okay, so I need to be careful here because we're going into an even phase. Even phase means I need 6 debuffs per turn to activate the totem. So we just have to be cognizant of that. Nothing really special about anyone's enchantments. Everyone's using typical PvP stuff. Burn has Breeze. Jugler has Thorns. I don't really play with Altemuller. He's using Rough Seas at the moment. My Altemuller's gear is definitely not the best. Okay, while I want to AoE here, I think I'm just going to... Oh, I'm almost violating my own rules. Let's first attack with Lana. Lower this guy's MDef, and then Bozel will naturally do more damage. Now, couple things. My Lana is a martyr because at the expense of about 32, maybe 35 int, which is huge, at the expense of 35 int, she will gain more HP and more defense, and I think a couple other stats less relevant. But I found that later on, it's ridiculously important having her just barely survive to keep pumping out the damage. So I'm valuing her sustainability for future rounds over her ability to deal more damage in the earlier phases. Okay. Now see, this is where we start struggling with applying the unnecessary amount of debuffs. So hopefully Lana can apply 1 debuff. And I don't think he has the MDef down, so she definitely will apply it. And she also applied silence. Great. So I've got a couple options here. I could go up here in Black Hole, or I could just attack the... I could just attack it. While I really want a Black Hole and just say screw it, and I'm sure I'll be fine, I'm going to just attack it. Play it safer. This is what a safer play would look like for most people. And the reason that is safer is because, 1, I'll need to clear all of these. I don't need to clear all the mobs next turn, but I should. And 2, I might be struggling with debuffs, so Black Hole is going to almost guarantee I can sufficiently debuff the doggo. And again, you don't have to know anything about this fight to replicate what I'm doing. Very straightforward, very basic. You can literally have copied me move for move up to this point just fine. even if you're killing bosses at different phases and different stages, that's perfectly fine. There's no reason you shouldn't be able to replicate this. I really want to get the defense or MDef Intimidate on, but I might die here. Okay, no, I didn't die. He's got the MDef. Now, instead of dealing like 80 to 90,000 or 60 to 90,000, I'm going to deal like 100, 120k to the boss. Let's get a couple attacks with Altemuller in. Heal everyone up and then coast into the odd phase, which will be even easier. Another 90k, 88k. So as you can see, we're at 3 mil. You really haven't struggled at all. I do not have amazing characters. If your Lana has a teeny bit more defense than mine, you'll just be flying through this period. Again, my Altemuller is nothing to speak of. Jugler has not been struggling at all. So if you have a even 3 or 4 star Jugler, if you have decent HP and decent Hellhounds, you could be coasting along just fine like I've been coasting. And I recognize that a lot of people will have weaker troops than me as well. Yeah, that happens, but that doesn't mean you can't perform extremely well on this boss. You really don't have to worry about the wolves at all. I never worry about them. Their debuffs are never an issue. If you copy my move for move, you'll be good to go. Part of the reason that they're not an issue is that we activate the totem every turn. They put stacks of torment or whatever terror on you. If you have 3 stacks, you'll get 1 shot by the boss. Never matters because you never really get more than 1 or 2 stacks, period. The thing you really have to watch out for is turn 2's AoE. This is the ridiculously important turn. Times 0.4 AoE damage to all enemies on the battlefield. That's going to scale off of his attack. So 0.4 times this, that's a lot. Now, a lot doesn't matter as long as it doesn't kill someone. If it does kill someone, then it matters. So we have to do everything possible to keep our Lana alive. She's going to be the only one at risk of dying to the physical AoE damage. No one's going to die from the magic AoE damage. No one's going to die from phase 3 because that's when he eats a wolf or he summons wolves. So really, the only phase you need to worry about is phase 2. Okay, let's maximize magic damage by putting some MDef Intimidate on him. No reason not to AoE here. I mean, I could save it, but we're going to be in the odd phase for at least another turn or 2. So it's really a non-issue. My Varna has Ragnarok and magic enchants. Ragnarok is definitely not the best for this. I think Throne Guardian would definitely be better. I'm not going to re-gear my Varna, though, just for slightly better results, unless I really need it. You see the physical damage? She took probably 70% of her health. That's pretty good, because all she needs is 0.01% of her health. All she needs is any health. If you feel like you're in a position where you can't attack or you're at risk of dying, then don't attack. I guess I shouldn't have attacked there, huh? So we're actually going to just weaken the boss first. If we can actually kill him, she can attack without having to worry about getting hurt. So here's what we're going to do. Assuming we get the required number of debuffs, yeah. We're going to first heal, because we're not going to take any retaliation damage. And from there, we're going to attack with all of our troops alive. Maximize DPS whenever possible. Okay, now this phase will be extremely tricky for, I'd say 90 to 95% of you guys. That's because we're on phase 6. We're right before S rank. Most people will not have made it this far or much further. So this is where you're going to have to start really being smart and creative with how you play. I might have to change up how I play in this round. Altemuller is going to not give me a necessary debuff. Like if I had Listel or Ren here, I'd be getting debuffs, no issues. Almost no issues whatsoever. But that's not the case, so taking a lot of magic damage there. Great. Boss is up. So if RNG's in your favor, I mean, you can really get it in 3 attacks here. Now, Varna and Altemuller are almost going to offer no debuffs. Sometimes Varna will give you a random debuff with Wind Whisper, but you got to pray to RNG that it's not one he already has or will get from MDEF. MDEF, Intimidate, Defense down, Attack down, etc. So I wasn't too concerned about this turn because Bozel's just going to come in and attack anyway. And he would get debuffs on just due to his talent. But again, my Bozel's 5 stars. Maybe you have a 4 or 3 star Bozel. And that would significantly cripple your ability to apply debuffs because his talent would give you a significantly smaller chance. Now this next turn where Bozel is probably going to run up here and take the buff, I'm genuinely concerned about getting the buff to activate. And it's very important you get it on the second turn, because if you don't get it after the first turn, if I can't activate it, then I'm going to be taking the massive physical AoE damage on a turn where my people are not healed up to full. So this is where RG is very important. It might be so important that I don't even go up with Bozel and I try to apply more debuffs with him if that's what matters. And if your Lava Titans are... so that was bad on my part. I did not apply the Lava Titan debuff on him. Actually, that's so bad that I'm going to rewind that. Like, that would be round losing for most people. Now I'm going to move him down here. He's going to apply the Lava Burn to Fenrir as opposed to one of the wolves. Okay, as you can see, I still don't have enough debuffs. And actually, I kind of misplayed there. I should have attacked with Lana first to see if she could apply the necessary amount of debuffs. So let's assume that I did not attack with okay. So I still don't have the requisite number of debuffs applied. So I've got 2 options. 1, attack with Bozel, or 2, use Varna's Wind Whisper. For purposes of right now, I want to try and stay on track with my normal rotation. So I'm going to Wind Whisper, pray she applies the correct debuff, but I might be blowing so I'll be blowing a rewind here because that didn't work. And actually I'm going to reorder it like this. So instead of attacking with Altemuller right now, I'm going to attack with Lana. She didn't apply the silence through her headdress, and now she did. Now we're active. So you can always rewind, reorder your attacks, and see if RNG is in your favor. So I've got a couple options here. I think I'm going to just do my standard rotation and grab the buff with Bozel. He won't kill this. Oh, I guess he did. And it's fine if they don't kill it. It really, these wolves really don't matter. Don't go out of your way to kill them. They're just, at the end of the day, really just distractions. So we survived the absolutely devastating massive AoE on turn or phase 6. That's going to be the AoE that kills 99% of you guys. If you're able to keep your Lana and team alive past it, fantastic, because you're going to get a lot more points. You're going to, if you do get past that AoE that we just survived, you're going to coast past the rest of phase 6, most likely. You're going to coast past phase 7 because it's significantly easier, and then you'll get at least into phase 8. So I'm just debating what to do here. I do have Beehole. I'm just going to attack. I'm going to lose all my Lava Titans here. They're not going to apply the burn. I survived with one. So he applies the burn to the boss instead of there. A lot of the RNG could have gone against us there. Now, Lana is definitely too weak to attack. She's got about 11,000 health. She'll take 16k if she attacks this boss. So I'm going to just... I'm going to end my turn with her, apply MDef Intimidate, so that my black hole does sizable damage here. That was enough to activate. The totem. We'll get our AoE in. We will give King's Crown to Altemuller. And actually, instead, I did my ordering wrong because I actually don't want to kill... I don't actually want to kill the boss now. You know what? I'm going to take my time here a little bit, and I'm going to I'm only killing these wolves for a lack of desire to actually kill the boss. The reason I'm not going to kill the boss is because he's one hit away from being stunned. I actually want to chomp out as much damage as I possibly can for this phase. Now hopefully I didn't move him too far. Great. When I say chomp out as much damage, we're getting into the later phases. Right now, it's going to be ridiculously important to maximize how much damage we can put on him. And if I had killed him last turn, we would not be able to maximize damage. Okay, so now he's stunned. Now let's get some real damage in on him. So as you can see, I didn't do enough debuffs, unique debuffs, to actually activate the Eye of Zeus. It's not going to matter now because he's stunned. And at the beginning of his next phase, he's really not going to matter at all either because I'll be getting the debuffs on him. It'll be an odd phase. I can get... I don't need the healing right now. I'll need it by the end of the turn. I'm going to try and activate it with just Lana. So she almost died from that crit. Had she died, I would have rewound to change the order of a couple of things. Just debating in my order here. This is where you have to start thinking. When you start getting to the peak, when I say peak, I mean the maximum of what you can and can't do. You really need to consider what you what you want. So basically, what I'm struggling here with is I obviously don't want to attack with Burn here. He's not going to accomplish much. But I'm debating, I don't even need to blow Sword Dance, but do I just stand still with Burn? Or do I attack after I get the Eye of Zeus? And should I attack with Altemuller before I get the Eye of Zeus, etc.? So I'm going to attack with Altemuller before I get the Eye of Zeus, have him healed up to full. But Bernhardt, I'm going to attack with him after I get the Eye of Zeus. Because I'm pretty confident Bernhardt will survive the AoE even with just his base health. Because he's going to lose almost all of his troops here. So remember, phase 2 is going to be the weak magic damage AoE. Everyone should survive just fine. I said phase 2, I just mean his first attack in his rotation. I think we're going to attack with Burn here. He's not going to get the Lava Titan debuff on. Okay, he just dies, period. So we rewind that. Let's try and go for just get the MDef down on him. See what Black Bride put on him. Just not going to attack with him, period, I think. He's kind of struggling here. Yeah, I'm just not going to attack with him. I'm not going to blow my rewinds, just trying to get him up there. All right. Everyone heals up. And look, I mean, we're pushing almost 5 mil here. I don't even have great characters. Some people might consider them great. Great, we just got past one of the hardest phases in the game. Phase 7, World Devourer. Physical damage attack. So we should be clear sailing for more. Now Burn will attack, and he will survive. He's got a considerable amount of troop health. I am using Ghostblade on Burn. You don't need it. So Lana, look, if we look at her, she's got 6k. She's got 10k health. The boss is going to do like 16, 17k, and that's without critting. So we're probably not going to do that. We do have the option. Okay, so he's going to summon wolves next turn. This is something that when I say the later phases, I mean your maximum. In your maximum phase, if you know that you're really pushing your limits, and obviously I am. My people are barely surviving at this point. Next phase, he's not even going to attack you. He's going to summon 2 wolves, or he's going to eat one of the wolves and become ridiculously powerful for a little while. It's fine if he eats a wolf and becomes ridiculously powerful for a little while, because that really doesn't matter if you can kill him the same turn he becomes ridiculously powerful. So knowing that he's going to send out 2 wolves instead of actually attacking me, I can just I can safely, I might die here, but besides this attack, okay, so I shouldn't attack there, but I can safely move off of there, heal. I'm gonna heal up, and then attack with everyone. And Lana and Altemuller are going to be low from attacking. However, it's not going to matter because the wolves are going to spawn and they're going to attack me, and they do almost next to nothing. Actually, Lana, she's just going to Dark Reaper and heal up to full. Ooh, she almost died. Now this is where I need to debate whether or not I want to actually kill him this turn or maximize. See, I don't think I'm going to kill him this turn. One, because I just don't think I can. But two, part of me wants to just... okay, so... part of me wants to maximize damage next turn. I'm going to take a baby attack here. I'm going to take the AoE, magic AoE. It's not going to do any relevant damage. And now you guys are going to see me struggle like hell as we enter the absolutely most devastating phase for me, phase 8. This is my cap. I don't even know that I've gotten past it. So I don't want to do that with Bozel yet. I want to make sure I get that defense intimidate, MDef intimidate on first. $60K to the boss. Now we're over 5 mil. Do we have... no, we don't have King's Crown on right now. So let's get that on. $5.28 mil. Another turn of free attacks. Going to attack with Lana second, see how many debuffs I can get on him. Okay, great. Remember, phase 8, we're looking to get 5 debuffs. We have to get 6 debuffs on him. So it's an even phase. We got to get a lot of debuffs on. Oh, okay. So I was wondering why my Lava Titans have not been dying when they were at full health. And it's because I'm using Altemuller and he is giving defense command to everyone. And I'm pretty sure it's applying to the... pretty sure it's actually applying to the Bernhardt's troops as well. Couple wolves spawn. I do have a massive AoE. It's not really going to matter too much. My big thing here is I got to get past phase. I have to survive the next AoE attack. The next one is what's going to hurt. If I get past the next one, we're going to be breaking 6 mil here. Okay. Pretty sure Jugler survives this pretty safely. And if this goes like last time, Bernhardt will survive with... oh, nope. They crit. Okay. Oh, look at me already getting my order wrong. I'm rushing. I don't need to rush. There's no reason to rush. I needed to get MDef Intimidate on first, but I'm not going to blow a rewind on it. We'll just see how it plays out. Okay, so this is not good. We don't have sufficient number of debuffs on him, and by far this is the most important turn to... I don't think both... I'm just going to attack. I don't think Altemuller has any debuffs he can apply, so just going to see. Yeah, no, he doesn't, so we're going to rewind. Let's actually get our ordering right. So we attacked, and then we went down and did that. So we will not do that. We're going to attack here Hopefully we get a silence. Even if we don't, Bozel might. And there we go. Now we have enough. We already know Altemuller can survive 2 of these attacks if he gets a Gale. So we're going to go in. Now we're in a very, very good spot, I think. As long as we can survive this AoE. And even if Lana dies here, it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world because we can keep chugging along, and a lot of our main damage comes from AoEs and not so much Lana herself. However, her MDef Intimidate is going to be a very painful loss. Great, she survived. That doesn't mean we're in the clear. That just means it's possible we can make it considerably further. I got to be really careful here. Because if somebody dies, we're talking about blowing rewinds to try and get RNG in our favor. Okay, we're going to apply a debuff this way. Now, up to this point, I haven't used a single sword dance, and now I have. Now, so this is one of the interesting turns because we are going to... Remember, he's going to eat a wolf this turn. I have 2 rewinds. Okay, so what I do is I go up. Yeah, I'm going to go up, attack. That'll heal everyone up. Actually, I don't want him getting buffed. We're going to play this a little different here. I've never done this before. Going to force him to spawn 2 wolves. I don't want him to get the 500 to get super buffed here. He gets 500% stronger until he's dead. If you let him eat a wolf. The reason I don't want him to do that is because I won't be able to kill him this next turn. However, I think I can kill him in 2 turns, which would be amazing if I can pull that off. It's just going to be difficult because I got to make sure I can keep... quiet because I'm focused on him. Okay, I wanted to kill the... That's the reason I killed the troop, was because I wanted to make sure the Soul Stealer headdress applied silence to Fenrir if it did activate. Now this is not optimal at all. I shouldn't have gone that far out to kill those troops, but I'm doing what I had to do. Because I know I can survive this. Ooh, this is going to be really, really cutting it close. This is not good. I'm about to eat another phase here. Oh, that's not good at all. Okay, we're actually going to back it up a bit here. And it might be worse going back to this point in time. However, I am not going to go this far out of my way to prevent him from... I'm not going to go this far out of my way to prevent him from eating one of the hounds. I think that's just crippling me too much here. And we'll see where this takes us. It's good that he ate that one. Okay, that's good. Okay. Now he's going to do the weak AoE this turn. But one, we're going to eat a... Okay. The wolf attack shouldn't matter then. And we should be safely getting into phase 9 here. Oh, gosh. When I say safely, I'm really worried. Okay. Normally, I would attack with Hellhounds first. I'm pretty confident he will kill me, though, because he does have the buff. So I'm pretty sure we're going to play it safe and AoE him first with, as much as I hate to do it, AoE him first with Wind Whisper. That's going to make it so he can't retaliate against us. And we can safely apply the Hellhound debuff. As well as Lava Titans. And we're not going to be dying one shot to him. Okay. It's kind of frustrating. Really frustrating that even with all of these attacks and debuffs, we weren't able to get enough debuffs on him. Okay, fortunately we did get Seal. Now this is a terrible buff for Altemuller to get. At this point, we really don't have a choice. Great, we got it. And we're going to, since it's really inconsequential having him actually take a debuff. I'm sorry, position him here. Oh, I'm an idiot. I don't know why I didn't just attack the boss. It's okay. I was thinking he could take out the wolves. There's no reason I shouldn't have attacked the boss there. Okay. Really, we're just getting as much damage as we possibly can now. If he crits, we're screwed. Okay. So we're at least going to be able to survive the next phase. Not phase. We're going to be able to survive at least the next attack. However, I don't know that we can survive the physical attack. Now, I mean, at this point, 31 turns in, that's 93% more damage than what the boss had to begin with. So we could be dying at any attack here now. I'm not expecting to get much further. So part of me is thinking that I'm not even going to... Let's try this. I mean, maybe I die here, maybe I don't. If he crits me, I'm dead. Oh, I guess I didn't die from a crit. That was really risky, but at this point I'm trying to maximize damage. And she's dead anyway. Wow, Bozel died too. Just getting in whatever little damage I can get in now. And like I said, this is a stat check. But no, I'm really happy with this run. I don't know. I think it may beat my previous run. But as I promised, I'm going to go over my gear. I'll do my troop training, things like that. But again, this is a super easy guide to replicate. For me, it's a stat check. I know other guides require you to be a little bit more creative in how you approach it, but not here. Now, I'm not the number one on my server, nor number one global, or even probably not even relevant global wise, but I don't think all of these bosses need to be super labor intensive. They don't need to be mentally taxing. You can safely. Oh, I did beat my score by a couple 100,000. So my previous score was about 6 mil with Ren instead of Altemuller. However, Altemuller did carry me further, enabling my Lana to live longer. And it's actually the same comp that Lord runs. Lord's got a almost 7.4 mil run. He did upload that, so you can go watch him. There's a considerable power level difference here, 40k, 38k. So he's got about 2k more power level on me. I think more of his characters are 6 stars. More people are heart bonded. So if you want to go watch a more advanced play, go watch that. But this is pretty laid back, pretty straightforward, easy to follow. Let's go take a look at the gear and troops. Let's see. We used Jugler, 6 stars. He's got an Oath. Kage Kidon uniform. Better if you have last rites. Juggler's gift is his helmet. It restores 10% HP after battle. And ignores the cost limit of skills. Cost limit doesn't matter for this. Actually, Red Ribbon would be better because it provides 20% healing. So if you have a red ribbon, go for it. Otherwise, use his unique helm, which is perfectly fine. Blood Pact, pretty average enchants. Let's see, who else do we use for this? Altemuller. It's got a rag. Kage, last rites would definitely be better. Regular crown and winged shin guards. Winged shin guards really won't help you here because it's when attacked. Nobody's attacking him. You could definitely get a better accessory as well. Lana. She's got Astaroth, Black Bride, Soul Stealer headdress, and Holy Ring. If she had some kind of defensive options, that'd be better. When I say defensive options, I mean enchantments. If you have defense on your enchants, that's going to go a lot further. HP and defense, because that's really going to be what's stat checking you here. Here's my Ren for people who are contemplating using Ren. Bernhardt, he's borrowing a Ghost Blade. Carbon's good for him. Aeneas is good. Wing Shin Guard's not optimal. You might even consider something like Apex Boots, Speed Boots, Divine Boots for the movement, so he can go and grab a tile if you wanted to be a little creative. Who else did we use? I remember we used Varna. Last Rites helps her. I don't think it's necessary at all, though. And King's Crown helps too. Magic enchants skill damage is increased by 10%. AoE increases by an extra 5%, so that's important. And I think that was it. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but let's see. Jugler, Varna. I can go over Listel. This is what Listel would use if you were to bring her. Troop training. The relevant troops would be sorceresses, hellhounds, and lava titans. And for people who want perspective, Bonds, she's fully maxed with everything. Jugler's fully maxed with everything. Altemuller's fully maxed with everything. However, Lana is struggling, and if she were to increase her heart bond and her hero bond, it would significantly, HP and defense going up by 2% would be a significant increase. Might even let her survive the higher phases for me. Same thing with Bernhardt. He died the same turn Lana did. If I could up this and his center heart bond a bit, that would greatly improve his viability. Ren is in the same boat. Same with Listel. And I think that covered everyone. Bozel's maxed except for attack. But yeah, that should cover everyone. So I hope you find this useful. It's a pretty straightforward guide to follow. You can literally copy it step by step. Once you see the pattern, copy the pattern, and you'll probably end up with a pretty good score. So feel free to ask any questions in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.